A lot of people talk about self love, but I don't think many of us have experienced what it's really like. And I say this because for many years I thought I understood this path of inner understanding, inner work, developing self love, building a relationship with my inner child. But it didn't really click until about 10 months ago. I was on vacation in Hawaii alone, and I was driving through the streets of Honolulu at nighttime. It was like 8 or 9 p.m. It was pretty dark out. And I was driving to this restaurant to grab some food. And I remember rolling the windows down, turning the music up, and just singing, blasting music, singing at the top of my lungs. And it felt so good. I felt so free. And in that moment, I felt like I was fulfilling all my needs. I was hungry, so I was going to get some food. I wanted to sing, so I sang. It was a little bit warm in the car. It was a nice summer breeze out. And I was probably doing like 10 or 20 over the speed limit. And I look over to my right. I'm driving, right? And the passenger seat next to me is empty. But I look over and I sort of imagine in that moment my 12-year-old self sitting there, seatbelt on, head nodding, singing along with me, and just this smile on his face. And he just looks so happy, content. He looks like he feels safe and loved, and like he's in the right place. And he's like wearing some graphic t-shirt, fucking like soccer shorts, goofy little kid. And in that moment, I felt so whole. It felt like I hadn't been spending time with this kid. And he sort of just appeared to me in this like flash of imagination. And in that moment, I realized what it really felt to love myself. It felt like I had a son or a little brother, and he was just there hanging out with me. And I felt so grateful in that moment to have him there with me, experiencing with me. It was like he felt seen, appreciated, cared for, understood. And I realized that's not what I've been giving to myself. It's not what I'm used to giving to myself. And afterwards it made me a little sad because it had taken me 22 years of my life to like experience this moment of like truly being attuned with my body, with what I want. I really did feel content and at peace in that moment. And I realized that self-love isn't just some concept. It's not just taking a bubble bath or going on a shopping spree or going to the gym. It's a feeling that you have to cultivate. It's a sense of paying attention to your body, attunement with what you need in any moment, listening to yourself. It's literally treating parts of yourself like they are another person. I find that it's often a lot harder to take care of myself than it is to take care of someone else. When I'm in a relationship or when I'm around friends, it's much easier for me to be generous to them, do extra work for the people that I love and care about. But it's so hard for me to get out of bed, to do my laundry, to clean my room, to shower, brush my teeth some days. And I know that this is something that might be a lifelong journey. I hope that it is, and I hope that it's something that I can just overcome, but I think it's a continual practice. I don't think it's just one day I just figure it out and it's solved. But I feel like I've learned so much from different practices of meditation and forgiveness, loving kindness, and developing a more forgiving, wholesome, loving attitude towards the world and as a consequence towards myself. I think myself is the hardest place to start. I think it's much easier if I create this positive energy and give it out to the world. And as a result, I can see that me being kind to other people leads to them being kind to me. And that makes it easier for me to be kind to myself. I've always felt that love is a conditional thing. It's not something that I deserve just by existing. It's something that I feel like I need to work for. I need to perform, or I need to be high status, or I need to be impressive or cool or powerful to earn it, to deserve love. And that's why I withhold it from myself. It feels like I haven't earned it. It feels like I can't be content with myself if I'm not pushing myself to the absolute maximum every day. But after reaching a lot of my goals, I find this continual emptiness, this hollowness, this frustration with what I expected. I expected after a certain milestone to be able to rest and celebrate and appreciate myself. And I've still to this day struggled to ever do that. I never feel satisfied when I achieve a goal. At least not in the way that I hope I do. I always hope for this lasting satisfaction, and it never lasts more than maybe a day or two. No matter how long the goal. It could have taken me 5 years to get somewhere. And even then, it's like on to the next thing, on to the next thing. And some people say this is good. Some people want you to develop this sort of dark motivation, this negative fuel, because it's powerful, it's strong, it can really push you. But it's not sustainable, it burns really quickly, like coal. And it leaves all this darkness to be dealt with later. It leaves all this toxicity and self-hatred sort of bubbling inside of you. And I think I've gotten to a point where it no longer feels like I can use that motivation. Because I know what's on the other side of my goals. I know that they're not going to be as satisfying or as perfect or as life-changing as I tell myself they'll be, as my lizard brain tries to convince me that they'll be. And so a lot of the project with my life lately has just been reorienting my thoughts, reorienting my life philosophy, reorienting the way that I even perceive the world and the way that I act every day, my daily, not just my habits and routines, but my thinking habits, the way that I see the world. I've been reprogramming myself with mantras like, I love myself. Mantras like, may I be happy, may I be healthy, may I be at peace. This is called metta meditation, M-E-T-T-A, metta. And it's embracing loving kindness. It's bringing positive intentionality into the world because your actions are shaped by your intentionality. And you can almost hijack it by using these words. Even if you don't fully believe them, often I don't. But even the attempt to try to believe them, the attempt to think these words, to say these words to myself, it reorients my brain, it reprograms my brain to start thinking in these new grooves. And eventually they become so smooth that they feel like they are me, they feel real. And I think the lesson from all this is that self-love isn't consumerism. It's not just some arbitrary idea. It's a feeling that you cultivate over time through intentional practice, through intentional action, through taking the time to listen to yourself. Notice when you're sleepy or hungry, or you want to do something, but you're denying it from yourself. And if you can't do it, at least recognize that you want that. Maybe write it down so you can do it later. Take a nap in the middle of the day. Go get a snack. It's like these little things that we're so used to shutting down our inner child and saying, shut up, like, you don't get a say right now. And then we never get back to them, and they feel abandoned. The more we can cultivate this healthy relationship with different parts of ourselves, the more we can feel cohesive, feel like a team, feel like a whole self, and cultivate love in that cohesive whole. There's more that I want to say, but I think I'll have plenty to talk about in future videos. So yeah, just wanted to share that. And if you made it this far, thank you for watching. Please leave a comment if you did. Comment epic sauce if you made it this far, because I'm actually curious how many people are watching these videos to the end versus like just clicking, watching the first 5 seconds and dipping out. Because yeah, I mean, if it resonates with you, I'm just curious, like, what's bringing you here, and if there's anything I can talk about that would be helpful or interesting, or like, I'm just curious to hear about what's going on in your life. And yeah, my endings are still super rambly and long. I still don't know how to finish these videos strong, but that's all I got for today. Thank you for watching, and I will see you tomorrow. Peace.